Hello and welcome to another episode of ohmTown on Twitch. I guess I could start saying just ohmTown, but there's a website involved in this outside of Twitch. Hello, I'm Mayor Watt. I'm the mayor of ohmTown. That's the website right there. And today is basically the same as every other day. I'm still working on getting things ramped up in terms of breaking out each show based on a category each day. But we're not there yet. So this is going to be general news. It's actually on the schedule as a general news day. But I'm going to continue to try to get this to be a creator day, a news day, it's more just general news and not even slightly focused on anything, which is what I've been doing for the last month. Then education, where we'll focus on these categories, this one category, and then these groups, and then entertainment, and then social, and then technology. And I might actually break out that business day that I was thinking about a few weeks ago. And that would round out 7 days a week of a more holistic news hour, largely focused on each one of these categories. But we're not there yet. If you think it's a neat idea, great. Throw it in chat and let me know. Be sure to follow. I need to get more followers, but I'm not running around telling people about my show. I guess I should. It's not that I'm not proud of it. It's just that I'm not the kind to hype up myself. And so I don't tell people, hey, this is what I'm doing. Coworkers don't know I do this. Friends and family don't know. Well, my family, my immediate family know, but at any rate, I'm rambling. Today has been an interesting day to begin with, but it is February 1st, 2022. And thank you for stopping by. If you're watching the VOD, then awesome. If you're in my chat, even more awesome. If you even want to be on the show, I can throw you up above me. Dun, dun, dun. That's where alerts go, but I can pause the alerts and have you on there on camera if you are interested. Otherwise, throw some questions in chat if you are oh so motivated. If you can't hear the music, then I guess that might be good or bad. It's the intro music, basically. And if you can hear it and you don't mind it playing at the low level, then let me know that it's cool. But I will assume that everything is awesome. I don't have my monitor on, so I'm not actually listening to what's going out, other than I know my mic is set a little bit louder than it was in the first few weeks, but everything should be working perfect. So in the meantime, let's get on with this. So this first link, and again, like every day, this is not put together in such a way that there is a flow of topics. It basically is a sample of news pulled throughout the day. The timestamps that are on the discussion boards are not really aligned with when I pulled them. You'd have to go and look at the current time difference between when I pulled them and what you see here on the stream, because I pull them throughout the day. And I pull them based on basically either history. I've got some context to add to it, or we can just I thought they were interesting, so let's have a conversation. This first one is in the Mobile group, and people are downloading the next 2,000 days of Wordle. So the New York Times, if you listen to yesterday's show, the New York Times purchased Wordle for what is rumored to be 7 digits. And that made me just spontaneously exclaim, I've made huge mistakes. And really reminded me that if you are interested in, the next decade plus of amazing growth, learn programming. And within that, you're going to have to learn a lot of math, but learn Python, learn Java. From there, you can learn pretty much any other language. There are other languages that might be easier to somebody that really gets the concepts of programming, but learn Java, learn Python. That's the number 1 and 2 language that's in demand. So learn how to program. You can pick up Swift real easy and launch an iOS app, or you can pick up Android and launch an Android app on the Google Play Store, and you can be the next Wardle who made Wordle. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Anyway, although it was like a sleeper for a while, when it actually came back, it went viral. People went nuts for it. People around me are playing it every morning. And if you don't know what Wordle is, it's a 5x5 grid. And let me click this link. So this article actually comes from Vice, and when you click the link, you'll get taken over to it. And so you can download the original version of it, and as long as you don't have updates automatic, it won't update to the new version. But because the New York Times purchased it, it might change. In fact, it will change. And they said Josh Wardle said that it'll remain free to play for everyone, while the New York Times itself said it's initially free. So buy it now and never ever update it. And hopefully they don't break it in some way that makes you upgrade it, even if you do download the next 2,000 days. I'm sure there's a way that it can be broken so that you have to update. Anyway, so this little image here is basically what Wordle is. It's actually a 5x5 grid, not 5x3 like what's listed here. But it's a 5x5 grid, and you have to get the word, and you don't get any hints as to what the word is, short of once you type in 5 letters, it's either green, yellow, or black, or gray. I think it is. I don't remember I think it's green if it's the right letter in the right spot, yellow if it's the right letter in the wrong spot, and black if it's not any of it. If it's not in it and it's not in the right spot. Anyway, so it went viral, and it's an easy 7 digits, right? Considering it had been around for a while, and suddenly goes viral. So check it out. Get Wordle, 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 by Josh Wardle. I'm emphasizing the Ward because it's Wardle. Anyway, I think it might just be Wordle. Anyway, there you have it. Learn programming and you will be the next immediate millionaire. All you have to do is wait for your app to go viral. And if you are a programmer and you are interested, I am willing to highlight your app. If you send it in chat, or you contact me via email, or if you post something on the site and let me know about it, because I can't see everything everywhere all the time. You let me know and I'll take a look, and maybe I can talk about it on one of the programming days. I have an app, not an app. I have a category. Where did I put it? Code Foundation. And I can highlight the app in Code Foundation days. That's the tech day. That's probably going to be Saturday. But for the time being, I'm basically highlighting a spectrum of articles across ohmTown, which is itself a composite of the internet. So this next one is about coffee. It's in the order of the bean group. It just goes by of the bean. And if you love pour overs, which is a style of making coffee, you might like this, right? So I'm going to click the link. I have not seen this. I just thought that it was an interesting article based on the title. And I like design aesthetics of pretty much anything to some degree. Everything has an interesting aesthetic or some particular nuance that makes it interesting. If not the whole thing, then some part therein. But this is a Chinese coffee focused homeware brand XY design that is introducing an electric pour over kettle. Pardon me while I adjust my sleeves. The O kettle features a ring between the rod handle and the kettle body designed to protect your fingers from heat. Interesting. Okay. I suppose so. After observation of many baristas' techniques, we see the handle of the kettle as the key to a good coffee. Yeah, so if you don't know what a pour over is, basically it's that little stand right there with a filter and then the coffee in it, and somebody stands there and pours the coffee over and goes in a little circle and evenly distributes the water so that it grabs as much coffee on the way down through the filter. It's gravity fed. Yeah, I like lattes, so I'm putting it in an espresso machine and tapping that button to force that water through at high pressure and concentrated. So give me espresso and a latte. Not necessarily in that order. If you want to give me an espresso separate and then give me a latte with another double espresso in it, perfect. That's my morning. So anyway, if you like it, you can go and check it out. But it has some really nice industrial design. And if I was the pour over type, I would probably want to get something like this. I'm going to scroll down again. Sorry for your eyes if you are watching this on your screen. Hey, it's only $130. And for that kind of industrial design, I think that it's pretty neat. Considering it's an electric kettle. Pretty neat. So on with the show. The next one is Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sister. If you are into VR, like I am, unfortunately I sold my VR kit because I'm waiting for a wireless version of the Index. Please give it to me. I really want a wireless Index. Anyway, Warhammer 40,000 is a VR game. I'm going to click the link, take you to the source, and that source is Road to VR. Great site, by the way. Tons of articles about virtual reality. It's part of the group for makers and might have been, let me see if it's, yeah, it was in Reality Hacker, which is a group within the category of Create. Well, anyway, this is written by Scott Hayden over at Road to VR, and Warhammer Battle Sister is basically you in the world, in the universe, the omniverse, really, of Warhammer 40K. And you will be probably destroying everything. It's over on Steam. You can actually see it, some imagery and some intro stuff over there, and it's in my wish list. And so now I have to figure out, do I want to, now I just won't be able to buy it until I have a wireless VR set. I can't go back to wires. I've experienced wireless VR, and I just can't go back, which is a real shame because VR would take off if not for those wires. So let's get it done and get that wireless out there. Anyway, you will probably, if you're into VR, you'll probably love this. High-res graphics, immersion, like I was going to say up to your neck, but no, it's all the way up to the top of your head. You are totally immersed in Warhammer 40,000, and I can't wait for it to come out. So it's set to launch. It says launched on Quest in late 2020, later coming to Rift and Cross-Buy in mid 2021. Now the epic shooter is slated to leave Meta platform exclusivity starting next month. And so it's coming to Steam VR headsets on March 8th. Yeah. Can't wait. I got a month. This next article is over on Smack Talk, which is an ohmTown group, but its source is Apple Insider. Apple TV Plus announces bilingual thriller Now and Then, launching on May 20th. They're highlighting this bilingual aspect of it. So I'm curious about what that is. But it's an 8-episode bilingual thriller. So I'm going to click the link and take you over there. And it's written by Wesley Hilliard. And it'll be on Apple TV Plus on May 20th. And it'll be English and Spanish. And they reference Acapulco. Yeah, I guess they're going to tie it into something, but I can't pause that video. So we'll probably end up watching it and coming back and talking about it and talking about the reviews of it in the Continuity Report show, which I am still working on. And if you want to co-host a show that talks about TV, and TV in the modern sense of it, not, old broadcast TV, but talking about it in the context, not only of the materiality of the movie or show that we're watching, but that it's on Netflix or Hulu or one of the other channel apps, which I already talked about in a previous VOD, but if you want to talk about it more, we can throw a comment in chat and feel free to ask questions. This next article is Mobble, in the group Mobble on ohmTown. It's sourced by phys.org. Scientists invent world's first advanced laser microscope to study chiral molecules. So let me click the link. And let's scroll down and see what it is. So the microscope, known as a CPL laser scanning confocal microscope, or CPL LSCM, is the first of its kind that can detect and track luminescent chiral molecules in cells and has extensive potential to be used by the imaging and biomedical research community globally. And let me check something real quick. Sorry for the silence. I try not to do that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do some more due diligence into this microscope. But if you are in this field and you know about it, or you know somebody that knows about it, then let me know. And let's invite them over and we can have a chat. Again, I'm fully understanding that not everybody knows everything about everything. And so the more we know, the better informed we are to have discussions or understanding of the news that we might stumble across, particularly in this kind of a show, because I do not read the news prior. I am highlighting interesting articles, and then I hope that you will go to either ohmTown and click the links, or to those actual websites that I mentioned, and that you can actually see. phys.org is this one. Anyway, this is an interesting evolutionary step. It's like a dark field microscopes. You know, they were an evolutionary step to the simple microscope, and allowed you to see things in a different light, so to speak. And this is just another one. So they actually tell you what it is in this little paragraph right here. It can track emissive chiral molecules within live cells and distinguish left-handed molecules from right-handed molecules that can emit bright light, which was not possible before. So now I want to see what this actual microscope looks like. But that will be another day, because I want to keep on moving and let you know about all of this news, because I do have a lot of it. Tesla is recalling 54,000 vehicles. This is the word in tech. I guess today's word would be recall. Rolling stop. Apparently it's a feature. Not sure if it's a feature that's an intermittent feature and that it's rolling right on through. Let's see. Documents posted on Tuesday by U.S. safety regulators say Tesla will disable the feature with an over-the-internet software update. The rolling stop feature allows vehicles to go through intersections with always stop signs at up to 5.6 miles per hour. So you can get a ticket for doing a rolling stop. I'm not sure why it would be programmatically enabled, but it is what it is until somebody gets a ticket, and then they say, well, my self-driving car rolled through the stop sign while I was napping in the trunk or whatever. Anyway, this article comes from The Guardian. Be sure to go over to The Guardian, let them know that you are there. This article is by, let's see, I think they actually put their authors down at the very bottom, but I don't see it. All that's a bummer. They show it just says Associated Press in New York, so it doesn't say where it was actually, who actually wrote it, but they give credit to the photographer. So anyway, if you regularly allow the self-driving capabilities of your Tesla to roll through a stop sign, that's about to come to a stop. Okay, the next article is on Tabletop Nights. That's where it's aggregated to, but it comes from RPG site. Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons launches on February 28th. I'm going to click the link so that you can see the article and the website. Go over to RPG site and check it out, rpgsite.net. NCSoft and ArenaNet have announced that Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons will launch on February 28th for the PC. I thoroughly like when modules are released, expansions are released, DLC is released, even if it costs a little bit more money, because it typically requires graphics to be upgraded and bugs to be fixed. And then it's a whole new level of engagement and maybe an expansion to the story across the board with more things outside of the DLC, but certainly in the DLC. And it's kind of like buying another book in a series. So I really don't have that much concern about it, but a lot of people think that if you pay $60 for a game, it should be everything. But that is what you're paying for. You're paying for that game. Just because somebody figured out that they can attach something more to it, or it's even planned, doesn't mean that it's any different than an interactive book. And you're paying to expand your library. The only bad thing about this is that you don't technically own any piece of software anymore when it's on Steam or Epic or Origin or, gosh, how many do I have on Prime? There's others, GOG. You don't really own it unless you have right of first sale. If you have first sale doctrine capabilities, then you can take your app and you can sell it to somebody else. That game could be sold to somebody else. And that's not how it is. You can't sell your game to somebody else. Not at this time, but I foresee a time where it's possible that somebody might connect the actual app to an NFT, and then you can sell that NFT to somebody else, and with it goes the application. And that is where I can see NFTs being valuable, because it actually is digital possession of a good, of a product. But right now, you have a perpetual license to use, and it can be revoked electronically, which has happened with Amazon and the book 1984. People purchased it from an unauthorized reseller of the book, and that attention was brought to Amazon, and Amazon digitally revoked it from Kindles overnight. So what I've been telling people is that physical media is dead. So you might be able to buy vinyl, but all of the movies and books and everything that is digital that you have been purchasing on various platforms, you don't own it. You own a license to consume it. Okay, so in the Marble group, ancient helmets, temple ruins found at a dig in southern Italy. This is a phys.org article. I am a huge fan of Time Team, which is a UK, a British television show that was around for something like 20 years, and then it dropped off the air, but it came back. It has a Patreon now, and they are starting to do more digs, and they're doing interviews and releasing information and videos. It's on YouTube. And you should go and check it out, but that's not what this is. Not that I know of, at least. It's just that this kind of triggered this memory, that I am one of the Patreons for Time Team, and you should too, if you're interested in archaeology, and human history in general. It doesn't have any of the modern political machinations or modern conflict, but sometimes all of this brings up discussion about our ancient past, and knowing more about this stuff lets us know about our current situation and possibly our future, because we discover something. Archaeologists might discover something that kind of puts that historical context in a different context. And it's quite fascinating. So in this, archaeologists in southern Italy have discovered ancient warrior helmets and the ruins of a painted brick wall at a site that might have been a forerunner of a temple dedicated to the goddess Athena. Interesting. Yeah, there's a whole lot more here, so I want you to go over. If you go through ohmTown, then that's awesome. Be sure to sign up. Let me know that the site is useful for you. But then go over to phys.org. Francis D'Amelio wrote this article, and it has a neat picture on it. They're kind of showing you what they found. But be sure to, actually, it's not what they found. This is an older one. This is an older picture of something else, but they show pictures of the actual helmet, and I'm not sure what that other one is, but you can go and check it out. That's what I want you to do. And then you can come and talk to me about it tomorrow, again, 6:00 Eastern. We will be talking about another set of news. another set of articles. This is another article over on Mobile. It's sourced from phys.org. That's where it's aggregated from. And it goes into detail about diversifying crop rotation provides, improves soil, reduces fertilizer costs. So one of the things that we talk about here in ohmTown and ohmTown News is that we are impacted by our technological innovations. Society impacts technology. Technology impacts society. And in this case, our better understanding of how to do crop rotation, it ends up improving the soil, reducing the need for fertilizer, and thus we are more efficient at growing our own foods without having to worry about chemical fertilizers or some other element seeping into the natural development of products. And it puts less strain on the soil, and there isn't anything leaking into our water supply, and so on and so forth. So as we learn more about it, we can benefit all of mankind simply by becoming more aware of the processes that allow our soil to remain healthy. And if everybody does it, we can actually do away with fertilizer. Maybe. We use less of it. At some point, we might be able to figure out the formula to eliminate it altogether. So go and check it out. Christy Delfanian, South Dakota State University, wrote the article. And you can go and check it out. Farmers who have used a 3 or 4 crop rotation system for more than 10 years are more likely to reap the benefits of improved soil health and higher yields, according to a survey of producers in eastern South Dakota. We'll keep on going. I think we're about halfway through. Yeah, we are. Right on target. So this is in Smack Talk, which is a group that talks about Apple and competitors within the context of Apple. And if you didn't think that $550 for AirPods Max was good enough to spend your money on, how about a $1,000 Gucci case? I clicked this simply for that title. This is an article over at Apple Insider. And there you go. Malcolm Owen is the author for this article. AirPods Max, by the way, they sound really good. And they have this immersive audio feature that certain tracks have the ability to exploit, where you are just sucked into the soundstage and it's all around you. And polyphonic, it really throws you deep into the music. And if you like that kind of stuff, it will blow your mind. It's like night and day. Let me tell you, pardon me 1 second. It's like almost every episode I end up coughing for a little bit. Anyway, I can't say that it's the same for the case, but I guess it's immersed in your wallet. The case for the AirPods Max has always been a bizarre thing to me. It looks like somebody woke up and just said, I've spent all my energy on designing the AirPods Max. I'm not going to design a case. So left it open to the market, I suppose. And I would rather not have a case than have that case. But I'm not going to spend $980 on a Gucci case either. Probably not even if I had the money, which I couldn't justify a $1,000 Gucci case. But then again, I'm sitting in a flannel doing a presentation on the internet. So what am I for taste, right? Okay, this next article again is over on Mobile, and it's the case for a breakfast feast. A new review provides the latest evidence to suggest we should front load our calories early in the day to jumpstart our metabolisms and prevent obesity. Too late for many. It's an article over on the New York Times. If you are interested in it, then go on over and check it out. I grabbed it simply because of that title and that little snippet. Many Americans are obese. And I'm one of those practitioners of intermittent fasting. So I actually only eat for about 4 hours out of the day. That's my window of opportunity to consume calories. And I don't eat 3,000 calories in a day. I'm more around 1,500, 1,400 on a good day. But I run every day. I do everything else I need to do every day. But I work in an office setting where I'm sitting at this desk for 10 to 12 hours out of the day. So sedentary is an understatement. So if this helps you manage, you get your food, you're energized throughout the day, and then you crash at night, then so be it. And there has been a saying where you, for breakfast, you eat like a king. For lunch, you eat like a prince. And for dinner, you eat like a pauper. And basically the phrasing implies you eat a big breakfast, you eat a small lunch, and you just kind of snack for dinner, or forego it altogether. And I think that I sleep better because of that. My stomach isn't metabolizing food and rumbling, and I'm not generating energy while I'm asleep. Because if you generate energy, it's my interpretation that if you generate energy while you're sleeping, it has nowhere to go. You're not burning it off. So it's going to end up slowly being metabolized, converted into energy, and stored as fat. That energy has to go somewhere, and it's not being burned off. So I am a big proponent of a good breakfast. So I'm not going to read the whole article, obviously. We only have an hour to be together, so I will read this later, and then we can talk about it tomorrow. If people are oh so motivated, come on back and talk to me about it. And you can find the articles on ohmTown. This next article is The Word in Tech, Tracking Inequality in Real Time. UC Berkeley economists have launched a powerful new web tool that allows users to track almost in real time how economic growth and public policy affect the distribution of income and wealth among classes in the United States. So when you click that link, it'll take you to the article over on phys.org. I think that it's a fascinating concept. And I've said in other VODs that what it comes down to is opportunity in education. Because in another VOD, I mentioned that, and scientists have shown that crime increases, and it's pretty much dependent on education and opportunity. And we don't have either. You end up with high crime. Everything else falls to the side. If you have education and opportunity, you don't resort to crime. Sure, there's other mechanisms at play. There might be mental health issues that you need to address, learning coping skills that you don't learn maybe from your parents. But in general, the biggest two factors are education and opportunity. And one plays into the other. With more education, you open up doors to opportunity. Although some people can't find that opportunity. Anyway, it's a website called Real Time Inequality, and should check it out. I'll come back to that on another show, perhaps. Under the continuity report is another show called, well, it says Magic Comes to Life in trailer for Kate Tsang's Marvelous and the Black Hole. So when you click that link, you're going to get taken over to Variety. And And I'm going to pause it. And it says, "You're never too old to believe in magic." And so this is a story of a young delinquent who forms an unlikely friendship with an older magician. And apparently it's a coming of age comedy. Marvelous and the Black Hole. So you might be interested. Rhea Perlman is in it. Well, that's interesting. I haven't heard anything from her in a long time. Interesting. So I guess we'll end up having to watch this and see more about what it is and have a nice discussion over in the Continuity Report show, should it be manifest here on Twitch. Another article from Mobile. It's sourced at phys.org. In simulated mission, astronauts obtained direct haptic feedback from robots they control on the ground. Click the link, get taken over to it, and these are really interesting bots. They look like the bots. There was a robotics company that shut down, and it was highlighted in a video from CJP Gray. Oh, what is it called? Well, the video is called "Humans Need Not Apply." It's actually kind of older now and almost prophetic, but there was a type of robot that basically could pivot in any direction, and all it had to do was be trained to do something, and it could do it day in, day out. It was really neat. And that's what these robot arms look like. But getting real-time feedback allows somebody to do remote work. And it's more natural because it isn't you doing something and you don't get any type of stimulus in your hands or arms or wherever this thing is attached. So you want that haptic feedback. So when you go to grab something, it pulses or it resists your fingers grabbing it so that you can grab with force. It's one of the key ingredients to cybernetics or limb replacement in humans. Cybernetics has two different meanings. So anyway, this is really neat. And obviously, if you are interested in this topic, go over to phys.org. And if you make it to ohmTown, that would be great. The next article is The Word in Tech. Corsair's PS5 ready M.2 SSD is fast and relatively inexpensive. Relatively is probably the word. Not because there's something new afoot, but money really is subjective. One person's $100 is a cheap purchase versus, a person who really can't afford it. So anyway, this article comes from The Verge, and M.2s are just amazing tech. I wish that more people would purchase these so that they would lower the price and increase the tech per drive. But now it says that they're in 4 capacities: 500 gig, 1, 2, and 4 terabyte. I think that 4 terabyte is like $1,000. Yeah. So it's $800 for the 4 terabyte drive. Yeah, you can get like a 20 terabyte drive for that if it's a mechanical drive, an HDD. But M.2 drives, which, let me see something here. They're referring to it as an SSD, but an M.2 is really in a different league. A normal SATA SSD is going to move 1/10 of that speed, but these are moving at 6.8 gigabytes per second. I mean, that is just a ton of data moving, but they generate heat. So, and they even mention it. So it comes with its own heat sink. Yeah, that's a pretty looking M.2. So Hopefully it's for the PC too. I'll have to take a look and see, but I can't refer to them as SSDs. I have to refer to them as M.2s and explain to people that they're M.2s. Because when somebody thinks of SSD, they think of a standard SATA SSD, drive that looks like a pack of cards kind of a thing. And not these skinny little, I don't know how to describe them. They're like pencil cases. They're narrow and thin and just long. So it looks like 8 pencils laying side by side, not a storage device, unless you're in the know. Okay, this next article is Sony's Bungie acquisition is all about Fortnite. So a lot of people are actually talking about why this was purchased. So I'm going to click the link. It's over at The Verge. And so Microsoft has Minecraft, Epic has Fortnite, and Sony now has Destiny. In a $3.6 billion deal, Sony acquired Bungie. And the world went, what? Because that came out of the blue, apparently. Just happened one morning. Everybody started talking about this deal acquiring Bungie. So the last few months have been merger and acquisition quarter. People have made so much money during the pandemic with people buying games and playing games that, of course, they have this opportunity to spend that massive influx of cash on acquisition. And $3.6 billion is not bad. So good on them for selling, but it says it also backed some equally big promises from Bungie about its independence, the future of Destiny, and commitments to multi-platform games. So we will see what happens with this. But the claim was that Destiny will remain multi-platform. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but it would be bad news to try and silo this game. It needs as many players to play it as possible to keep it a viable vehicle. So this is an article from Tom Warren, and you can go over to The Verge and do a search for our Sony's Bungie acquisition is all about Fortnite and huge virtual worlds on multiple platforms. And I don't know about Microsoft has Minecraft as its big product. It was a big product already, and sure, it was acquired. But Microsoft is so distributed in terms of where it's making its cash. I find it difficult that Minecraft alone is the focus. But I still play it, and I'm not an 11-year-old, so it's a fun game, and with more and more mods, and even the mods are free. I don't see Minecraft as being the cash cow for Microsoft. I mean, if you think about it, Fortnite definitely is. Destiny is. Minecraft has a different angle. There's different things there. Okay, this next article is The Word in Tech, Bell review, anime that makes for an intriguing big screen spectacle. This was something that I hadn't looked into yet at all in any way. Going to click the link. It goes over to The Guardian, and it says this weird postmodern drama sees a lonely teenager join a virtual world where she becomes a hugely successful singer. And it says there's some amazing big screen spectacle in this weird postmodern emo photo love drama from Japanese anime director Mamoru Hosoda. Hosoda. And Mirai is the last film that they created. So it's interesting. And there is a huge following for animated artists, like musical artists. Who is it that? One second, let me. Hatsune Miku did a tour in 2020 called Magical Mirai, and in 2021 did Magical Mirai. I'm not sure if there's going to be a 2022 version yet, but it's this virtual hologram, massive following, selling out stadiums, and it's just massive. I mean, the videos I've seen and the ecosystem around it, there's just a massive following for this Hatsune Miku, and for that particular, they use Vocaloid to sing the lyrics. Not like there's like background music and somebody sings words, but with Hatsune Miku, it's using Vocaloid to actually, the music and the lyrics are all one thing, even though there's a band playing music. It's quite intriguing to watch. And so I've never seen anything like this before. I've never watched Mirai. But, you know, I might have to watch just to get a context for this. But it's really interesting because you can do things in animation that you just can't do in the real world. Not even like CGI and stuff like that is one thing. But pure animation allows you to do some really fascinating, visual effects and stuff. Just, it's a lot of fun. But there's obviously a rabbit hole that we can go down regarding this. But what I wanted to end with today was something that I spoke about yesterday, and I just hinted at it. And so we're going to take a real hard left here, because I wanted to talk about, there is a group that I started called Of the Brew. So this Order of the Brew is a group that talks about beer, and there's always some new article going on here that is aggregated from the internet and then put here. So like if you click on this, it'll take you to a discussion. You click the link and you get taken out to whatever the article is talking about, right? Get free PBW cleaner when you join the American Home Brewers Association in February of 2022. So right now, right? You click the link, it'll take you over there. This almost means nothing to most people, right? Like maybe you know somebody that brews beer. But 8 years ago, I helped kickstart a product and it never came into existence. Never came into existence. And then the same day that I decided to go and look at a website about, I was looking for automated beer makers, right? Where it's basically a package. You open the cabinet, you put all the ingredients in, it talks to your phone, you close the doors, and you brew beer at home. And not like you normally do, where you have to boil a kettle and pitch the wort and throw in hops and do all of this. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in, and a lot of equipment involved in making beer at home. And even if you bottle it properly, the pressures can build up because you kind of derped somewhere and you have an explosion of bottles. And you can't can at home easily. So at any rate, I went looking for a beer maker because I wanted to see, should I do this? Should I get a home brew kit kind of a thing? But I didn't want to have to boil 5 gallons of water and do all of this stuff. I wanted something easier for me. I don't have a lot of time on my hands to do that kind of stuff. I would have to give up something else. You can't do everything every day. So I get an email from that old Kickstarter, and they're saying, hey, we're still consolidating our debt and cleaning up our hot mess, dumpster fire of a Kickstarter, and we're going to still bring it to market. And people start ranting and raving against it, like basically calling them thieves and that they spent the money on their commercial enterprise instead of on the Kickstarter and the promise to make that kit. And it's 8 years old now, so it's not going to be able to compete, right? And this came out after, it came out right before I clicked on this. And this is called Beer Maker. And you can go and check it out. I have no affiliation with them. I'm pondering purchasing this. And if you're into beer, basically what this does is sit on your counter, you plug it in, it talks to your phone. I would not put it under a counter because it's impossible to interact with if it's under a counter. Maybe you can do everything you need to do and then slide it under a counter and leave it alone, but it's kind of a behemoth. I don't know. They make it look cute and cuddly, but I don't know. So I've seen the videos on how this thing works. It interacts with your cell phone. You put water in it. I'm going to scroll real fast. I'm really sorry. It's this device right here. And then this is the beer tap. And so with this, you open the door. Oh, you don't see my cursor. I just realized. Let me find an open portion of it. Okay, so this picture right here, next to the bottle, just to the right of the bottle, it has the door open and the top off, and that's where you put your grains and anything else you want. You can actually put like chocolate in there, and anything really that adds flavor to your beer. And you pour water in, it drains down into that. It looks like a bag, and that's what it is. It's a heavy duty bag. So the water processes through the grains into that bag, does all of its fermentation. You get rid of the waste yeast, you disconnect it, and then you take that bag, and let's see if they have a separate picture. No, they don't have a separate picture of it. Anyway, then you take it out of the beer maker and you put it in the beer tap, and then you put the beer tap in your refrigerator, and then you get ice cold beer, and it sits there for however long you want that beer to be sitting there. It holds what is supposed to be a 12-pack of beer worth of this in what amounts to a bag-shaped keg. And I thought it's just a blast. So do I want to get this? Would this be great for summer where I can make my own beer, 12 bottles at a time, but it's a tap. So you would have to go in there, and you can actually put it in growlers. You can put it in bottles. But if you leave it in this little gray box sitting in your fridge, you can get ice cold beer whenever you want to without having to carry a bottle around or sanitize bottles. You have to sanitize your bottles and your growlers. But at any rate, I think it's a neat idea. And that other tech, I don't know if it will ever come truly to fruition, nor do I think that it's at the same level as this. It's a lot higher minded than this. There's a whole lot more processes in the Kickstarter. But Beer Maker seems to have a bead on efficient, smart, a nice small package that can sit on a countertop, or in your basement, and just chill and do its thing. And then you take the beer tap and put it up on your, in your refrigerator. And then when you have somebody come over, you can just pull out the beer tap, fill up a couple of, glasses, and you're on your way. So really neat. That said, the kits kind of make it, let's see, let me show you the kits. So the kits kind of come out to be about the price of a 12 pack of Corona Extras is what I looked at. A little bit cheaper than a Corona Extra, but you have to do all of the work and you have to do the weight. You can't just run to the store and get, a maker kit. This has to get sent to you. You have to process it through your beer maker. But it is the way that you want it. And you can tweak it once you learn how to, manipulate the ingredients. So this is really neat. And I just wanted to highlight it. This has everything, business, tech, society, innovation, entertainment. This can be brought out on a hot summer's day, and plopped on a deck or in your backyard patio or wherever, and have a good time. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and ending with the beer maker. Again, I have no relationship with beer maker. I'm just pondering actually getting one of these things. Do I want to share the price? You can probably go and look. It's $650, but you get the whole kit, right? And a free maker kit, which is the beer ingredients and everything that you need to make it. Pretty cool. All right. I think that's where I'm going to end the show. And I want you all to have a good night. Thanks again for coming to ohmTown. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.